hope this isn't completely fucked, but nice. All right. Now we'll start after I get that out of the way. I'm enjoying making videos, and videos, they're fun. They're kind of fun to make. So I thought I'd just kind of record while I'm working a little bit, and just kind of share my thoughts as I'm doing this. I'm painting over an old painting that was kind of about working and being in elementary and middle school, and how it's all about like just work really hard to get a good spot in the machine. And then it was about alcoholism, and it was like a decent idea for a painting, but it's a decent idea for a painting, but the execution kind of failed, I guess you could say. Yeah. It just wasn't really that, I don't know, it just wasn't super cohesive. And so I'm painting over it because I painted one painting of this cowgirl, and my dad was like, "That painting's really good, you should do 2 more." And because I have an art fair coming up, and he was just suggesting that I should do more because I should just make it kind of like a set of 3, because people like sets or whatever. And this is the only square canvas that I have, so I'm painting over it. But the main point that I wanted to talk about was that I'm really enjoying this style of painting, this workflow that I've kind of found. Shout out to Chris Fornatero for this workflow, because the other day I saw he posted an Instagram or whatever, and it said like he was just kind of talking about how like painting should be fun, and I don't know, it's very true. It should be fun. It shouldn't, when it feels too arduous, it's like you just aren't gonna get a good painting out of it when you're like pissed, you know? It's not good to be pissed off and do stuff. So, I mean, being pissed can lead to good ideas, but in the execution, you know what I mean. But so he's talking about, his thing is always like cover the canvas with paint. You gotta get as much paint on there as possible, as quickly as possible, to cover the canvas with paint. And I think that's a good way of working. Because it's nice. It's just really nice. Like it's really nice to get. It's nice working with oil paint, because oil paint you can just do so much revision to. You can change it a lot, and you can work with it a lot. It's like wet clay. And before, I would try and like nail the drawing as well as possible initially, right off the rip, I was trying to nail the drawing perfectly, and it's strenuous. It's really like mentally strenuous. And so if you just give yourself like the 5-year-old, you give yourself the like 5-year-old task, like a children's task of like, okay, just fill in the spaces with the dark and the light. And that's like, you've chipped away at the painting enough, and you give yourself a good like groundwork to work with, and then you can go back and edit. And if you go from like, if you're trying to make a circle or something and you start with a square, you just kind of slice off some of that. You slice off the hard corners, and then you have something that's closer to a circle. And then you just keep refining and keep whittling away until you finally have a circle. And so that's kind of what this painting technique workflow is refinement. And so you start off like really big, and then you just kind of keep refining, because like it's really mentally taxing to like really, like if you try and get the drawing like super precise on the first go, it's like super mentally taxing. And it's a good, if you're feeling that, then that's a good way of working as well. But this is nice. It's super like laid back, because the first layer of paint, you just really need to work thin. You just need to cover the canvas, and so you need to thin it down, and it's gonna look like ass anyway, so you might as well like make the base layer look like ass and then keep refining. And so it's really nice to work like that. I've been really enjoying it, because it takes the pressure off of like making it look perfect right off the rip. It takes the pressure off of work. It takes the pressure off the getting it perfect right off the rip. That's nice. Yeah, it's just a good workflow. And it makes it fun. And yeah, it's just, that's all I really wanted to say basically, was just that I'm enjoying this workflow, because it's just nicer. Because like, you can maybe already see like 20 minutes ago, this was like this looked way different. And now you can see kind of where it's going. Jesus. You can see where it's going and what it's gonna need or whatever. And so like, you get like this whole shape in there, and if you make a mistake while it looks like a glob of shit, then it's okay. And then it's like, oh, I just need to refine this shape like slightly to the left. And it helps you get everything like situated in place. Like, I don't know, sometimes like if I were to attempt to like really draw this, I would start doing like the face and then work out from there, and then I might make everything too big, and then I wouldn't get an important part of this. Is like, I don't really like the belt that she's wearing, And so I might miss that if I start from here and work out, because I tend to do that when I'm drawing. But I don't know, it's a nice workflow. It already looks like something, like I said already, I guess. It's already like, you already get the vibe of what's going on here. And so just continual small refinements from here. It's a good workflow. It's really nice. It's, I guess, what I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I don't know. But this is kind of going to be a funny painting, because the underpainting was about like how you're just taught in school to, like, the whole point of everything, you go to school for like all these years, and the whole point is to like become a good cog in the machine. And so I had written up here, Albrecht macht frei, work makes you free, which is written above Auschwitz. And to me, I don't know. I was using it because it's like fucked up, and it's like, it's like work sets you free, and that's just kind of how like capitalism feels. There's this one Instagram dude who is cool, who I forget who it was, but someone was like, one sec. Someone was like, they asked me like, what's your dream job? And it's like, well, I don't dream of working. I dream of just being free to create or whatever. And I thought that was a good saying, because like, obviously, like, you do have like a dream way of making money, but like, if you could just idyllically like live in the fucking forest with your friends and just be fairy nymphs or whatever the fuck, it'd be nice to just not have to be in a rat race, and you could just create stuff. But here we are. And then like, it was like a picture of America. There's some other stuff in it. And then these two symbols in the middle here, it's like a beer sign, like a neon sign that you'd see at a bar. Except it's like, it's a wine bottle turned upside down, and pouring out of it is a wine drop, but it's in the shape of a noose, because drinking like is fun and like kind of enlightening, or like, I don't know if it's enlightening, but it makes you, it doesn't like kind of like free up your mind and like makes you change, it changes your state of mind. It certainly does that. So it changes your consciousness for a little bit, and then you get to like, it's fun. But then the downside of that is that when it's over, it's like terrible for you, and it makes you feel horrible, and it can ruin your life. And so it's a dichotomy, and it's a beer sign hanging in a bar window. And so all that stuff is underneath what's now going to be a beautiful cowgirl. And I'm painting the beautiful cowgirl because I want to make money, and like I've made all these paintings with like all this kind of like dark messaging, and it's like, you know, obviously that's not gonna sell, but Beautiful Cowgirl will, and some rich person will buy the Beautiful Cowgirl, and then they won't know underneath it's like my dark, twisted mind. But which will be funny for me, and that's how it is now. Is that I think you start off as an artist and you're pissed and you want to do all these like dark things, and you're like angsty, and then you look back on that time in your life and you're like, wow, that's really cringy. And then, but you still are pissed and you still want to make stuff that's like, you know, not just hot women, you know. You want to make art that has a message, but you want to make money too. You want to make money doing art, so you have to like capitulate to the market demand, and the market demand is hot women. But the way that you subvert that is to have underneath these like fucked up things, and so when you sell it to the rich person, it's kind of like a middle finger to them that you don't even know. They don't even know that you're flipping them off, which is fun for me, and I'm the only one who knows that, and I guess now you know that, and so you can think about that. But yeah, that's what we're doing here. That's what I've got going on for this painting. Hopefully I can finish it. But yeah, do I have anything more to say? The drawing for it is here, and what was cool with that was that I tried doing the like skull thing where you draw a skull underneath the face to get the structure, because it's really hard to get structure when you're working off of a photo, and so I did the skull underdrawing thing, and that was kind of cool. That was fun to do. And up there's that's my grandma and my grandpa. They're both dead, but I don't know. I really was thinking about my grandpa today, because he's the one who, I don't know, he really inspired me to be an artist. He I'll never forget where I was. I just called him up one time. I was driving, and I think I was like supposed to say happy birthday to him or something. And I was on 2100 South between State and 700, kind of by like where there's like an Odyssey house over there. And he said to me, like, that he was really proud of me for being an artist, and that if he had to do it all over again, he really wishes that he would have tried to be a National Geographic photographer. And he was a pretty good photographer, but that really stuck with me. I was like, yeah, man, shit, I gotta make this work. I want that in my life. I don't want to be in a geezer in a nursing home who has regrets about not pursuing art as your career. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yep. Pretty cool. Anyways, hopefully I was in frame for that. Here's Guernica. I'm copying Guernica. It's been a odyssey in itself. I guess that's all for now.